edge. Ak šausmas, ak šausmas. Ah! I'm alive! I'm alive! We do not determine the speed. We don't determine the direction. We make only one decision. We make a decision to ride.
Sounds excited.
Oh, I'm very excited. So we're back building the raft. I skipped 2 years worth of it because of logistical issues, and it seems that on this round the weather is shit. We do not determine the weather. We do determine how to build the raft. It is a semi-tightly organized procession of wood and wire, wrangling and work. So, in case you haven't seen the last video, the Plusniksfakti, which is basically a rafting festival, we've got this thing here, which is the first, I don't know, quarter of the raft, and then over there we've got the other ones that are being constructed, which is actually the shit job, I think. Because your hands are in the water and you're not really having a great time of it. It's not like, I mean, the first day everyone has to work, but this side is better.
Goody!
And then there is the food. In some ways, we do not determine this either. The only option is the raft soup, more commonly known as salyanka. I will eat, breathe, and live salyanka over the next few days. I just didn't know it yet. And it's hard to define the scale of this beast here. So, welcome to the anatomy of a log raft that is to 12 platforms long. Now, we've got a rudder here. This is the top of the raft. The actual raft actually needs 2 rudders, one at the front and one at the back, because it's quite bendy, as you can already see. And because it's so bendy, you need to be able to steer from both directions, or else things turn to shit pretty quick, really quick. The river is slow, Gauja, but it's fairly unforgiving. Now, the rudder is actually fashioned out of just a piece of wood with a beveled edge down the end there, and some guys are going to be steering this from the front. Hopefully their alcohol content is not too high. But anyway, continuing this anatomy lesson, each raft, or each plank or platform has got 13 logs that make it up, and then we end up putting planks over top to sort of make life a bit easier, so you're not just walking on wooden logs all damn day. All these little logs that you see here are just like seats. Now down the sides is what I've been doing mostly today, which is the making these bumpers, and the way that they're staggered. And them being staggered means that when you come to a bank, as you invariably will end up doing, you're not going to dig into the side of the bank. Them being staggered with the flow of the river means that they're just hopefully going to glide along, but shit doesn't always go to plan like that. Down here, you can see that there's some cross bracing that's enabled a bit of flexibility, a bit of almost like a hinge with this wire here, so it goes across. Now over here, we've actually got some sheets of metal, because there's going to be a fire on this. Now, I've not heard of any stories of this raft catching fire, but perhaps it perhaps this might be the journey where it happens, or not, because it's pissing rain. Day 2, the day we ride. It's still it's cold as hell, but the raft is still intact after a night of what I consider to be a fairly fast flow of River Gauja. Yeah, I think we'll be setting off soon. They're just getting the fire ready. Fire goes on top of the dirt so the raft doesn't catch fire. Then we'll be away. Armand's gave me a poncho. Thank you. Dios por Dios. It's coming up to 8 a.m, which means...
Jin Jin. See you on Saturday. Maybe Sunday.
Everything is so composed and tidy at the start of the trip. A quick canvas of the raft shows that although already sodden, the wires are tight, the logs are buoyant, and the riders, crucially, are still sober. The river's moving quite quickly today, which is very nice, because the less time we spend in this rain, the better, right? Here comes the bridge.
Here comes the sun, la 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 la.
Don't get my hopes up. What's the flavor of this one?
Nutty one.
Nutty one. Hazelnuts. It smells like hazelnuts, but it tastes almost like Nutella. The river level this year was a lot higher than the last time I experienced it on the raft. It felt like we were sitting on a river that was more confident in itself, more cushioned, and I was thankful because... Are we enjoying ourselves?
Oh, absolutely.
Terra firma for a leak. It's still 4 degrees. It's pretty cold, but hanging in there. And then eventually I'll get some salyanka. Now, what is salyanka? Did you forget that this is a cooking channel? Because this is salyanka, roughly. Because from every recipe I've seen online, it's a hodgepodge of a range of different ingredients. From my father-in-law to the cooks on the raft, it just seems to be you use whatever you've got. But it must have a tomato and paprika base, and it must have black olives and pickles and meat and potatoes with a little bit of lemon at the end. There are a few variations on that, but in my version, Armands from the raft has given me some smoked pork that he makes at home, and I'm just using some of that plus some smoked sausage and some beef stock. I served mine up all looking nice and pretty, with a bit of sour cream and dill, and I think it's pretty good. So yeah, delicious. Okay, now that you've seen that, that's quite a delicious thing to eat, especially on cold days like this. It really sort of, the heat sort of like burrows into your soul in a way that is just so good. Oh man, apparently we're getting coffee. Coffee, yeah? Coffee, Leos Baldias. Bring on the caca, bring on the caca. Stuck. This log here seems to be the culprit. It's just sort of funneling it down to where we think it is connected. So basically we're sitting on a log somewhere, but we can't quite figure out where that log is. You saw the last episode we had with these guys doing sound work, where they were sort of measuring the light and the oscillation of the river and the footsteps on the raft and trying to create soundscapes. This time they've got a full-on setup where they're broadcasting a radio station just for the raft.
Pirāti to izmantos tādā veidā, kā aicinās mikrofonam stāstniec agitu lapsu.
It seems to be ingrained in Latvian culture, this ingenuity, and I absolutely love what they've done here with the radio. And this guy here is getting recognized for his contributions to rafting culture. He is basically the godfather of the whole thing, and now his book is in English. He's got an incredible story to tell that spans generations. Not really doing anything, just letting the river do the work. But then there's also like all of these trees that are just threatening to bring the raft to a grinding halt at any stage.
O, blядь! Ach, šausmas, ach, šausmas! Ah!
And it's always the roots that are under the water that are the ones that'll get you. The ones that you think aren't going to be a problem, and then they are. That sounds really dangerous. Gauja's chill as. Certainly easier than a New Zealand river. You may have noticed that the food is far more prominent in this episode than the last. That's because food can lift your spirits up through the dampening clouds. There is beaver to eat down the raft somewhere. Someone has brought beaver along. Not the type of beaver that you're thinking about. My first taste of beavers. Un jalapeno. Wow.
I'm telling you.
It's sort of like wow, that's good. How do I describe this? Porky beefy. Porky beef. It's like pork beef. We bond over food and we drink to survival. The end of the day. Is this mine? Thank you for all of the rain. Cheers. It's worse today than it was yesterday by quite some margin. There's probably something I can say after the fact about this experience. But right now it's just not coming to me. Where? The whole raft. Looking at this riverbank, all the trees slowly fall into the river. Makes you sort of realize that we have no control. The trees have no control. Water holds the highest power possible. It's patient. It does its work over a long period of time, and it does what it wants. It's time for everyone to take a piss. I know that sounds crude, but it's just a fact of nature. But it's also a great opportunity to take a wee stroll through a Latvian forest. As eerie as they are, there is a whole reason why I decided to write a book that was a horror novel set in these forests, because they just seem to go on forever. coffee should always be served in a big ass bucket of coffee. And a big ass bucket of tea. Lovely.
Starbucks on the post.
And over music and raindrops, we rode the river, or more aptly put, the river carried us through calm and through memories of peril. For those not caught up on the lore of the raft, as per the last episode, this was where the significant crash happened. And it doesn't look good now.
Gregorović strada!
That hurdle has been passed. It was so bad last time, wasn't it? We have blue sky to the north, we have clouds to the south, but we have the tiniest bit of sun. I am reinvigorated and ready to ride this raft all the way back to Stranci. And as the rain held off to the 95th percent of the leg where we were supposed to stop for the night, I considered the journey. I feel privileged, even with people like you four. We moored the raft, and then Armand, Ivo, and myself, we took the dinghies to the beach in Stranci to sort of get everything back. And then the sun came out. Too little, too late, but it was appreciated nonetheless. It's the final day, which means we've only got a very short trip, just around the corner, just around the river bend, like Pocahontas, and into town. This part of the journey is always a lot more formal. I'm wearing clothes that are sociable, and all of the guys who are full-on members, like Evo over there, will have on a very, very nice get-up, wearing like dress pants and everything else, and you just gotta pray that nothing goes wrong. One of the weird things about this whole experience is that after a couple of days you feel more comfortable on the raft than you do on land. Last night I was lying in bed and I seriously felt like I was going to fall off the bed. The whole world rocks around you and your brain is doing something that it feels like it should be doing, but it doesn't need to anymore. So it takes a few days to sort of reacclimatize to solid ground. How do you think you steered the raft?
Yesterday was my first time, and it was really good experience. I really like that. That was crazy cool.
Cool, easy peasy. And in my opinion, in my 2 experiences of being on the raft, we have a fantastic helmsman right here. No crashes.
No, yeah, sliding well.
Yeah, we just moved with the river and then worked with the river.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, Leos Paldies.
Super, paldies tev.